Two young thugs with guns accused of shooting 7 teenagers.
How many of you know someone who has either been killed or hurt by gun violence? Raise your hand. About 3/4 of you.
Stop doing what you're doing with the guns.
That's the message from radio host Reggie Davis and members of the anti-violence group CeaseFire, who gathered at the shooting scene at West Warren and Southfield.
Well, we got to put the neighbor back into the hood. And these young men and young women, they have hood mentalities, and where our households and schools have become breeding grounds for violence and things of this nature.
But what I can tell you is that prisons are full of people who wish they could take back 5 minutes of their life.
Well, a community is banding together in the wake of the bus stop shootings that injured 7 teens. And tonight, local leaders, students, and parents are all creating a new way to prevent gunfire before it starts.
Put your weapons down, and I dare you to reveal life again.
Powerful words calling for change, a message this group is trying to spread by pulling the community together.
If we help our young people understand that there's another way to resolve a conflict other than bullets and guns and knives.
I'm still in the streets. I like the things y'all like. I do the things y'all do, like the music y'all like. But at the end of the day, what I don't like is when I gotta actually go bury one of my little cousins. So what you gotta ask yourself in here is, it's cool to say whatever you say, do whatever you want to do, but is you really ready for that? Are you ready for that? Are you ready to lay in a casket? Are you ready to go to prison for real?
I think the young people have a problem with sometimes calling the police. I think that there comes a time where the young people know what's going on. Somebody knew, those 2 guys that ran there with those masks on and shot those kids, somebody knew they were going to do that before they did.
Many of us, we can't go home without knowing a brother, without knowing an uncle, without knowing a father who's already on parole or in penitentiary, and 9 out of 10 of them will go back.
We struggle every day like our parents struggle, and this is that and the other. You know, my brother just got locked up a couple of weeks ago for stealing a car, just like you said. Kids don't have nothing to do. If my brother had something to do, I don't think he'll been out there stealing a car. Or if he had somebody to look up to, he wouldn't be out there stealing a car for the second time and again, and he locked up again for the second time for the same thing. It's just hard for kids these days, and who we look for, no role models to tell us to stay in school. No. You know, we got it hard.
It's hard, but yet if you believe in yourself and believe in God and realize that just one moment can mess up your whole life, or just another moment can turn your whole life around, it's all about the choices that you make.
That is the big question. You have eyewitnesses. You have several people who saw this shooting occur, and yet you don't have anybody who is willing and ready to come forward and put a finger on the trigger man. Why is that? What's going on here?
Yes, sir. Well, I'll start with this, yo. I lost my brother, Vito Davis, to gun violence, and since my brother's death, as a living memorial, I said to myself, I'm going to make a pledge to try to make my city a better place. The idea comes behind trust. It's a trust issue. The young people are not going to go up to a police officer and say, oh, you know, I know Larry did this and down there. No, we've seen it. When the police officer walks up to a young person, he says, okay, did you see the weapon? I don't know. But when you have a group like CeaseFire, you've got the Nation of Islam, Reggie Larry Foote, you know, ex-gang members, and they walk up to them and they say the same thing, they're talking. So it's all about the bridges that we build. CeaseFire is going to be like a bridge from the young people to the police office.
It's not about who the smartest or who the dumbest. It's about being where you want to be. If you want to be an honor roll student, you will be an honor roll student. And you can take that with you the rest of your life. Whatever you want to be, you can do it if you want to do it.
Because there's no rehabilitation in prison. That's why so many guys come home and go back. That's why so many, when you look out here, I see a sea of black students. When I walked on the yard, I saw a sea of black young males that didn't care.
If you go to school one day and you're sitting in your math class and your classmate who's right next to you says, look here in my book bag, look what I got. And you look over and you see a semi-automatic handgun in your classmate's book bag. What will you do? Will you A, report it to authorities, tell your principal or somebody? B, will you not say anything at all? C, will you take the gun? Or D, will you participate in whatever the action is that that person is going to do with that that handgun?
I would probably tell her or tell somebody, because I don't want to end up being the person that he or she shoots and end up dead because nothing was said.
Right.
So I would either say something to somebody, because a bullet don't have no name on it.
I would do the same thing she said, because you don't tell nobody about the situation, somebody end up getting killed. Like she said, the bullet don't got no name on it.
People committed to ending violence in Detroit are launching a new crisis hotline. One of them is a local poet who recited a message about guns.
Put your weapons down. And I dare you to come from behind that shield of fear.
This crisis hotline is a way, an alternate way, another option for you to make a difference in our city. The crime rate is high, the murder rate is high, and it deals with a lot of young murders. So I'm asking you, Detroit, to please step forth now, and let's change everything that's going on with our city now. Now is the time.